powers vested in me, I hereby constitute this gathering of Cornerstone Institute for the purposes of the conferment of degrees and certificates. Thank you.
Mr. President, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. I can't stand still for excitement. What a wonderful moment. Let's pray together to open this gathering. Lord, it's such an immense privilege to study and to finish your qualification and graduate. It's such a privilege to do that as a family, as part of a family, and to have families attend. We thank you for that immense privilege and to be here today. We pray and ask for your blessings on this day, and we pray for the blessings on all the families here who have so much joy at graduation. We thank you for the work of Cornerstone and its leadership, and we praise your name. Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Noel Daniels, and I'm the CEO of Cornerstone. And it's indeed a great pleasure and honor for me to welcome you to our proceedings today. This graduation marks the achievement of one of the most significant milestones in the lives of our graduates. Research on school and university throughput in 2015 showed that only 18% of those who start school finish matric. Excuse me, let me get that stat right. Only 18% of those who start school, of matrics who complete, go to university. I must get my stats right. It's all that excitement that's getting me all into a knot. Of that 18% who go to university, 50% drop out. Okay, at university. So I believe that all of us have a responsibility to turn that situation around, because that's a very sorry statistic. Furthermore, I'd like to point out that research is quite clear that even if one member of an extended family complete a higher education qualification, that one member in that family can turn the material conditions of that entire family around. So clearly, in a country like South Africa, if you graduate from university, you are not only in a position to change your own material conditions, you're in the position to change the material conditions of your entire family. And if you're able to change the conditions of your family, you are able to change the conditions of your community. And if you're able to change the conditions of your community, you are able to change the conditions of your country, and in fact of your continent, and in fact of the entire globe. So there is, while it may seem that your graduation year is a relatively small thing in the bigger scheme of things, if one takes a global perspective, it really is very significant that you have made it to this stage. And we are very proud that you are here today because you represent 50% of the 18%. You are a source of hope and inspiration for all of those for whom higher education remains a pipe dream. Digesting the challenges that we face in our country, we increasingly need to build and develop layers of leadership and capacity to take on these challenges and to create a better future for ourselves and for generations to come. Most of our students say they come to Cornerstone because they want to learn to change the world. After all the resources invested in achieving your qualification, are you now ready to change the world? We certainly believe you are, and hence stand and celebrate with you here today. We know that you are going into a tough world where you'll be fighting to make a living, and our hope is that this fight is not only going to be about your own personal advancement, but that you will continue to be of service to others, promoting human dignity and social justice wherever you find yourself. Building a future for yourself is also about building a future for others. This is the Cornerstone way. As you savor the privilege of having been exposed to a university education, we pause to acknowledge that even while this achievement required a huge amount of tenacity and application from you, you could not have done it alone. We know that all those celebrating with you today are saying it was all worthwhile. To you, the family, the friends, the supporters of our graduates, we say congratulations and thank you. There is no monetary value that can be placed on the support and love that you have given our graduates. Without you at their sides, the chances of them completing this journey would have been much slimmer. So graduates, now we look to you to be our ambassadors, using the learnings and experiences of the years that you've spent at Cornerstone Institute, not only to serve your personal ambitions, but to touch and impact on the lives of those around you. We are confident that the class of 2017, which by the way represents the biggest cohort of graduates that Cornerstone Institute has ever produced. 92 students in one go. Our previous record was 75. So a round of applause for our graduate people. We are confident that the class of 2017 will continue our proud traditions and live up to the title that will be conferred on you today. Cornerstone Institute Alma Mater. I really appreciate all of you being here, and I want to single out one very special person who will be addressing us today. Many of you in the audience would have encountered her at some point in your lives, given that she herself is a Cornerstone graduate. Professor Nadine Bowers, we are very, very pleased that you've accepted the invitation to deliver the keynote address today. So in 1996, Nadine graduated with a certificate in theology from Cornerstone, and now she holds a doctorate from the University of Stellenbosch. She had completed a master's there as well as a Bachelor of Theology. Currently, she's an associate professor in theology and development in the Faculty of Theology at the University of Stellenbosch. At Cornerstone, between 2002 and 2012, that's a 10-year record, she served Cornerstone very admirably. She started off as the student dean, and then she became the head of the Department of Community Development, and she also served during that period as our acting dean. So we welcome her here today as an esteemed academic and intellectual who is continuing to do very cutting-edge work with her research, where she looks at the intersection between religion and development. She's very active in her community, servicing all kinds of projects where those projects have very clear outcomes in terms of addressing poverty, inequality, and injustice. She's on the board of 2 not-for-profit organizations, and she's the director of the Unit for Religious and Development Research, as well as being the chairperson of 2 committees in the faculty, one dealing with social impact and another dealing with transformation. Very apt choice, I think, given the times that we're living in our country, where we need people like Nadine Bowers, like Professor Nadine Bowers, who can spearhead and provide us with the guidance and inspiration that we all need to keep the wheels turning and to continue to give us hope. But of course, not only is she an activist academic who pushes to hear the voices of frequently those who are not heard, she's also a mother and a wife to Andries, and she has a 7-year-old daughter, Daniela. So, Professor, welcome to you, and we look forward to hearing what you have to say. Round of applause, please.
Thank you so much to Mr. Daniels. Firstly, graduating students of the class of 2017, friends, family, special guests, and esteemed staff and faculty of Cornerstone Institute, what an honor it is to be asked to be the speaker at such a significant moment and historical event in many of your lives. As the former head of community development, it is really close to my heart to witness, I think it's one of the first community development honors graduate today from Cornerstone, and also to celebrate with Cornerstone Institute the awarding of the first Ashley Creel bursary for community development. Thank you very much to the management for inviting me. I can't believe that 10 years ago I was the Dean of Students organizing this very graduation. And in those days, that even meant that I had to line up everybody and even robe everybody. And that 21 years ago to this day, I was one of the graduating certificate students in theology with a specialization in counseling. Let me start with a story. There once was a boy from the Cape Flats who was the youngest child of a tea lady. He grew up in Bonteheuwel and loved reading and playing chess. He was known as charming, curly-haired, with a mischievous giggle and an amazing general knowledge, with good people skills, and he was an excellent and charismatic public speaker. Anybody know who that was? That boy was Ashley Creel, the charismatic student leader who between the ages of 14 and 20, when he was cold-bloodedly murdered by the apartheid state, led the student and youth movements on the Cape Flats, establishing a network of revolutionary militants from the youth, student, civic movements in order to confront the injustices of the apartheid state. The story of Ashley is one of a community hero who, despite his age, think of it, 20 years old, and his socioeconomic background, had the courage to take on the might of the apartheid state. He understood from a young age that he might die fighting for the ideals of a just society. And indeed, that is exactly what happened. Nadine Kluter, the maker of the film documentary Action Commandant, and I believe it was screened here at Cornerstone. I sadly couldn't make it. She had something to say about the many other Ashley Creels, the unsung heroes of this era. She said, if you didn't die in the struggle, it doesn't mean that you didn't give your life. And the question that I want to pose to our graduates this morning is, what will you give your life for? Apartheid might be defeated legally, but there's much in our society that remains a legacy of that system. Widespread inequality, crime, poverty, unemployment. And maybe in answering this question, I want to ask you 3 more questions. You know, that's what academics do. We ask you more questions. The first question is, what do you dream of? Ashley was driven by the vision of a different society to the one in which he lived. He was like all visionary leaders. If you think of Martin Luther King Jr., he had a dream of a different South Africa. Now, I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes, everybody. Just close your eyes. Just play along with me for 1 minute. Close your eyes and imagine with me a society where there is access to running water and sanitation for all. A society where people have houses and not shacks, where children are nurtured and cared for by all in the community, where women are cherished. Okay, you can open your eyes. Wasn't too bad, eh? I'm a theologian, so I have to say that Scripture talks about this vision of what they call shalom, Hebrew word shalom. And this not only means peace, but it is a vision of a more just, loving, equitable, and free world. And so I want to ask you, what small corner of society do you dream of? I was reflecting this year, because I just turned 40, on what my dream was in my 20s. And I remembered, even though community development at that time was not a subject at any university, including Cornerstone, and I want to acknowledge Cornerstone as one of the first to offer community development as a specialization in this country. I knew that I wanted to help people who were poor and marginalized. I never dreamed that I would be the first in my field to study it, or that I would be a lecturer one day and train those who actually help church and society to work with the purse of the poor and marginalized. I definitely never dreamt that I would speak to thousands of people as I did last year. I used to be nervous to address even 50 people. I'm still driven by that dream. And it didn't start with dreaming about becoming a professor. It started with dreaming about a better world. What do you dream of? Maybe you dream of using your business skills to start a small business to address unemployment, or to fight for equality and fairness in your workplaces, wherever you will be placed. Maybe you dream to teach and nurture a new generation of children, that they know that they are loved, that they are cherished, that they are cared for. Maybe you dream to help other people understand their worth and their calling. Secondly, where has God placed you? Ashley started where he was born, in the area of Bonteheuwel, and he worked from there, organizing and galvanizing support from his position of influence together with others, but operating from where he was placed into the bigger picture. Today we glorify a few, but there were hundreds and thousands of young people and old people who were prepared to mobilize in different ways to confront the might of the state at that time. People who were placed in schools, in universities, workplaces, trade unions, people who were organizing and standing together wherever they found themselves. We all want a society where people can flourish and become all that they were created to be. But we are most effective when we work from where we are, with the gifts and the talents that we have. Whether you will graduate today in psychology, education, theology, community development, or business, each of you can make a difference. Those who know me maybe think I'm a little bit too much into Facebook. But I think of all the graduates of the past of this particular institution who I'm friends with on Facebook, and I can truly say that what makes me most proud of having taught here is the work that they are doing for society. We have preschool to high school teachers creating a loving environment for our country's children. We have community workers and activists advocating and walking alongside poor communities. We have social entrepreneurs turning business into opportunities for wealth sharing. Counselors and psychologists serving in the field of mental health, not just to individuals, that is also important, but also within traumatized, marginalized communities. We have ministers of religion who are leaders in the communities where they find themselves, from the Cape Flats to Zimbabwe, Malawi, Zambia, Tanzania, Kenya, Congo, I can go on. This institution has produced a legacy of change agents who are working in their various corners of their country, continent, and even the world. Thirdly, what are you prepared to sacrifice for the greater good? You know, the knee-jerk reaction as you leave here today is to say, please just give me a break, lady. Just let me go and go get a job, make some money, be comfortable, K December boss. What are you talking about sacrifices? I've already sacrificed so much to get to this particular point. We know that Ashley Kriel ultimately lost his life and that he was prepared to give his life for the greater good. In our recent history, there were many more who've sacrificed on our behalf, whether that's the Mandelas, the Beyers Naudés, or the Ashley Kriels. There are many unsung heroes. These were not superhumans. They were people just like us who dreamt of a better world and used the gifts and talents they had at great cost to make a difference. There are many living heroes in our communities who are prepared to sacrifice for the greater good. And one of my unsung heroes is an alumni by the name of Joy Warries. This is a lady who came in her 40s to study community development at Cornerstone, probably more than 10 years ago now. And she then came back for a year or two to assist me as bursary officer when I was still student affairs. She's a cancer survivor and a neuralgia sufferer. She then left to start a community project in Bellville South. She felt that this is something she'd been called to do, with no money and a little support from the councillor in the area, a little bit of monetary support. This project has grown into the WOW movement. You can Google it, Training and Empowering Women in Bellville South. And although the project is supported, Joy still doesn't draw a proper salary. But she tells me when I actually invited her to come and speak to my University of Stellenbosch students last year, that she's willing to make that sacrifice for the greater good. Now, my point is not to say that you should not earn a salary, okay? Breathe. But what I do want to ask is, will we give our money, our time, our lives to work for the common good, wherever you find yourself with whatever talent and gifts you have? This week, Mr. Daniels mentioned I serve on several committees. I serve on even more. And as a result of serving on those committees, and this week I really felt exhausted and thought to myself, oh my goodness, could somebody else not just take this? And I remembered that the committees that I currently serve on are transformation and social impact. And those things are close to my heart, and close, I believe, to the heart of God. And I thought, no, Nadine, you just have to carry on and be where you're placed to be. John Wesley, a theologian, and because I'm one, I couldn't resist quoting one. He puts it best, but it applies to everybody. And he said something very simple but very powerful. He said, do all the good you can by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. In closing, I ask your forgiveness that this has been a very serious speech. But our South Africa and world needs everyone on board to see what they can do in seeing the reality, the dream that people like Ashley Kriel had becoming a reality. So really, in the songwords of Demi Lovato, sorry, not sorry. There are many things we could give our lives for when we leave this place. We could give it for money, we could give it for fame, we could give it for security. At Cornerstone, you're provided with the tools, the skills, and the knowledge to learn to change the world. May you go from here and do just that. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadine, for that wonderfully inspirational message. It's actually wonderful. I'm the new head of Department for Sociology and Community Development, and I've never met Nadine before, so this is a good day for me too. But I've been asked to offer a word of encouragement to our graduates today, and that's what I'm going to do. You know, I've always said that I almost prefer graduations to weddings, and I really, really like weddings. But I really, really love graduations. There's something enormously powerful that this day represents. And to come together and to celebrate that is a rare privilege. So, graduates, congratulations. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. This day is what it has been about. You are now graduates. I think it's fitting that I actually get to do this today, because it was just about exactly 20 years ago, not unlike you, Nadine, that I first graduated with my BA in Psychology and English from the University of Natal, which was then called the University of Natal. You may not know this about me, but I come from a small dorpie, which, for those of you who don't know what a dorpie is, it's a small town in northern KwaZulu-Natal called Newcastle. Your door, be it horizons that you've never seen before. So I want to leave you with these words attributed to F. Scott Fitzgerald, although there's some debate about that on the internet, so I'm not sure who said it. Anyway, they were in a film called The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. So, for what it's worth, it's never too late or too early to be whoever you want to be. There's no time limit. Start whenever you can. You can change or you can stay the same. There are no rules to this thing. We can make the best or the worst of it. I hope you make the best of it. I hope you see things that startle you. I hope you feel things you've never felt before. I hope you meet people with a different point of view. I hope you live a life you're proud of. And if you're not, I hope you have the courage to start all over again. On this day, I wish for you to go and make beautiful lives for yourselves, for the people around you. Make lives that you're proud of. And if you're not, have the courage to start again. We wish you so much love and so much joy on this day, and hope just all the best. I'm getting a bit emotional. I'll leave it at that. Okay, thank you very much.
Sure, it is a bit difficult to speak after such eloquent speakers. To the chairman of our Cornerstone board, Mr. Marcel Golding, the president of our board, Professor John Valmink, all our board members present here today, all honored guests, parents, but most importantly, to our graduates. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to address you today, to say congratulations on behalf of the student body. 2017, I don't know about you, but personally, I feel that 2017 presented itself as quite a challenging year. Yes? Yes. Quite a challenging year. And as students, we were not exempted from these challenges, apart from finances, time management, relationships, etc., etc. You can fill the slots. You know it's been a hell of a ride. And some of these challenges were something that we're not quite familiar with. You know, it's new to you. But apart from these challenges, you are sitting here today. You have made it. You are allowed to smile. Don't look so serious, please, Kyle. We started the year off learning of the resignation of our Dean of Humanities, Rob Stegman, along with other members of our faculty. And for most students, this was a challenge. And I'll use the word challenge because that is exactly what it was. Those of you not familiar with the Cornerstone dynamics might question why the word challenge is used. Well, at Cornerstone, we are a community. Sometimes we have a bit of a love-hate relationship, but regardless, there is a relationship at Cornerstone, which is the core of our existence. And learning about Rob's resignation, as well as the others, we were saddened, because we had to say goodbye to people that were familiar to us, that became friends, that was part of the student body. But we moved on, we moved forward, and we embraced change when we got the new Dean of Humanities, Dr. Riri Weiss. Another challenge that we as students on a national front experienced was the suicide of one of the Wit students, Kuzi. She may not have been a student of Cornerstone, but she was one of us. Many of us could relate to what she went through, the challenges that she experienced as well. Listening to conversations in the corridors, you could hear that Kuzi's passing or her suicide triggered something inside of some of us. But as students, I guess we realized the importance of support, not only receiving support, but giving support to one another. And then one of the biggest challenges, senior project paper. Independent research papers. Yes, they were challenging. Those of you who lived with the graduates will know about the late nights, maybe sleepless nights for some of us, long days. But despite all of that, you persisted and you've made it. And still you've made time to interact with the students, to be part of the student body. Raisa will know a selfie of 4, maybe 10. Sadia, Kylie, those were our selfie queens. Thomas and Damien sitting in the sugar bowl, just having random conversations with the students. Yes? Those were our sugar bowl kings. Then we had the white couch as well. Those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it is one huge white couch, for that matter, where you'll find people napping in the morning, early mornings, maybe late in the afternoon as well, or you'll get your chats that's happening there as well. Selfie queens, they know exactly what I'm talking about. That is where you would find Sadia as well. And then we had the disfigured production. And many of the graduates were part of it, whether it was cast or whether it was crew. We had Kalipa, who served as the editor of our Cornerstone newsletter. We had Kelly and Emmanuel, who coordinated chapel. And we thank you for that. You may think that it went unnoticed, but as the student body, we saw what you did, and we appreciate it. So I guess 99% of you present here today are happy that this day is finally here. Yes? Parents are happy because there's no longer tuition that they need to pay. And finally, your child can go out and look for a job. Faculty is happy because they can see the result of their labor. Yes? Geraldine is nodding over there. Graduates are happy because they've made it. This day is finally here. As the student body, yes, we are happy. We share in your joy. But at the same time, we are saddened to say goodbye to what was familiar to us, to say goodbye to our mentors, to say goodbye to people who inspired us, to say goodbye to those who asked, how are you? To those who offered to buy coffee. We're going to miss the coffee anyway. So, yes, we are saddened by all of these things, but we wish you everything of the best. We wish you only success on this road forward for you. We wish you love as you continue on this journey. Today, we embrace something that many of us don't like to embrace, something called change, something called endings. Student body, there's a change in seniority. There's a change in the faces that we see in the corridors. And there's an ending to so many relationships. But we embrace this change as much as we embrace the change of seasons, because we know another season is ahead of us. We embrace this change as we embrace the end of a book, the end of a movie, or the end of a series. There's no more sugar bowl conversations, no more corridors, WhatsApps. There's no more white couch chats, and there's no more students hassling me with, Joe, what do I need to do here? What do I need to do there? So today we say goodbye to our mentors. We say goodbye to our friends. We say goodbye to our family. And your graduation today serves as a beacon of hope that one day our third years, second years, or first year students will be seated where you are sitting today. They will feel the excitement that you are feeling today. Some of you may feel a bit anxious, but it's okay. It goes with the excitement, and we too will experience all of that. So as you graduate today, graduates, please do not forget to thank those often left unthanked. Those Googles, those Wikipedias, Red Bull, Play, Score, you name it. But most importantly, copy and paste. And in conclusion, as the student body, we hope that you will be bold enough to use your voice, brave enough to listen to your heart, strong enough to live the life that you've always imagined. So go out and change the world. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, staff, faculty of Cornerstone, honored guests, and special welcome to the graduating class of 2017. My name is Emmanuel Meyer, and I've been asked to briefly give a speech about the student journey at Cornerstone. In the book of Isaiah 12, verse 4, it reads, "Give praise to the Lord, proclaim his name, make known among the nations what he has done, and proclaim that his name is exalted." I want to first and foremost acknowledge God in this moment in front of everybody, because I believe it is only by his grace that I, along with everybody here today, stand. The time I've spent at Cornerstone has been quite a journey. As I look around this room, many are not yet as started with us in 2013 and 2014. But you are here, and well done for sticking it through. There are three things that I want to touch on that is connected with the life of a student at Cornerstone. And the first one that is fundamentally common to all of us is that we have to do assignments, and those assignments come with deadlines. Now, performing under pressure is one of the things we learn to master at Cornerstone. It seems no matter how long we get to do an assignment, we'll submit it just before the deadline, or even after, and ask for an extension. This has taught us the consequences of not paying attention to the workshops on time management. The best bunch of staff and lecturers we've ever been exposed to, without a doubt, are from Cornerstone. Thank you, and we'll forever be indebted to what you have done for us. You have served passionately in the classroom and offered your time outside of class when it is needed. You have encouraged us to keep learning and to pursue research. It's the mindset you have embedded into us, a mindset that is open to learn and adapt constantly. We salute you. I want to say special thanks to the student services team. When I was in my first year, I remember working on my first assignment. I was super anxious and extremely nervous about getting it right and getting all the references in check. While I was working on it, I emailed a draft to someone working in student services just before midnight. And that person responded within minutes, showing me that this is exactly what I need to do to better my work. This is the kind of dedication that is not only shown in student services, but also in Cornerstone. And then finally, I would like to share 3 words that I think has resonated with each and every individual that has walked through the doors of Cornerstone. And that is relationships, small talk, and love. The first thing is relationships. I firmly believe that the way we are going to change the world and the situations around us is through relationships. Cornerstone is an intimate community where it is possible for everybody to develop meaningful relationships with people from diverse backgrounds. The second, small talk. Cornerstone Campus Life will teach you to be an expert in small talk. What I mean by this is seeing someone in the hallway and asking them, how are you doing? How's your day? How many assignments have you got left? When's your deadlines? But it goes beyond just greeting, and it goes more to where you're wanting to know something about someone. These short conversations act as seeds that can grow into meaningful relationships. One can never underestimate the power of small talk. This kind of small talk is even extended to our CEO, Noel, who we can see in the corridors, in the coffee shops, along with the management and staff. And then the last one is relationships. So in order for us to build relationships and to have small talk, I believe that comes from a place, and that place is called love. I think this has been very evident at Cornerstone. And when people say Cornerstone is like a family, the very basis of a family is love and being connected to one another. I'd like to end off with a quote by William Barclay, and it says, "There are 2 great days in a person's life. The day we are born and the day we discover why." I'd like to take this opportunity once again to congratulate the graduating class of 2017 and wish them all the best for their future endeavors. Thank you.
Good afternoon to the CEO and the board of Cornerstone, to our dean and academic and admin staff, guests and fellow graduates. I believe it's not graduates yet. Today it's my privilege to address you on behalf of all the graduating honours students or postgrad students. We expected honours to be hard work, and it was. Am I right? Okay. It was no walk in the park. It was metaphorically more like an uphill mountain bike race. And I'll be using the metaphor of an uphill mountain bike race for the next few minutes. From the very first day of honours, we had to keep pedalling. We had to stay focused on the path in front because it was often twisted and steep. Each deadline required extra effort on the pedals, and we are here today not because of our efforts alone, but because of the support we had along the route. So I'd like to briefly thank everyone who supported us in our ride up this mountain. Firstly, to God. You created this mountain and instilled in us the desire to rise to its challenges, and you kept us safe along the way. Cornerstone, you gave us the permit to access the mountain and processed our entries. Thank you for providing a safe place where we were encouraged to learn through interaction and respectful debate. Our lecturers, you were our personal trainers, marshalling us along a route you had already ridden. Thank you for willingly sharing your knowledge and experience with us. And a special thanks to Geraldine Franciscus and her team. You laboured hard on your pedals to meet the requirements of the HBCSA, and today celebrate with the first cohort of BPsych students to graduate. And I understand that the honours graduates in community development are also trailblazers this year. So together we have cycled a new route. Our supervisors, thank you for providing the puncture repair kits. You debriefed, guided and pumped up our flat tyres when we were with encouragement when we felt deflated. And thank you to the schools, counselling centres and community centres who provided us with placements. You were our qualifying race, allowing us to practice and improve our skills. For those who provided bursaries, we are very grateful to you. You provided the bike and all the other equipment. We want to assure you that your investment in us will be paid forward into the lives of many others as we work within our communities. To our family and friends, you seconded us. Thank you for cheering us on, for the pep talks, but especially for your belief in us. Today we've reached the top of the mountain, and we are blessed that you're here to enjoy the view with us. To our fellow students, we raced not against each other, but with each other. Together we've laughed, wept, and encouraged each other. Thank you for sharing of yourselves. Today, as we are handed our degrees, we will be applauded. Our supporters deserve applause too. So I'm going to do something a little different. I invite all the honours graduates and postgraduates to please stand. Please let's give our supporters a round of applause. Okay. This race is finished, but our journeys continue. We disperse now to cycle many different paths. We've all been enriched by our interaction with each other and by having successfully tackled the hairpin bends of the honours journey. We exit these auditorium doors today as alumni, forever ambassadors for and proud to be connected to Cornerstone. God bless you and thank you.
Well, good afternoon again, and now we're getting into it. Before we get going, I'd just like to explain to you what we'll be doing so that you know exactly how our process is running. So I have all the names that graduate here, and all the graduates, what's the right word again? Graduates, yeah, thank you. Have a small card with them to double check so that we don't have the read the wrong name and so forth. Also, in this, we indicate who achieved distinctions. So I'll also announce that. But what we would like to ask is, when we finished with a group of students, then we applaud that group together of that particular qualification. Now, I know it's tough. If your sort of child comes through, you just want to, jump up and shout hallelujah. They also want to do that, I know. But why it's important for us to just have that moment of silence is because it's important that you observe the moment of graduation for each individual student. And that's why we ask that you just for a moment give us a chance and to have our president, confer. And then when the group's done, I'll announce and we'll give them a big hallelujah when the group's done. So, thank you very much, Mr. President. I would like to call on you to confer the qualifications as I announced them. I've just had the wrong way around. I apologize. So at the moment, Caroline actually confers. So then, Mrs. Registrar, I present to you the following candidates who successfully completed the program requirements and had fulfilled all the conditions as accepted by the Board of Directors, the Academic Office, our accrediting bodies, and the Senate which now enables the candidates to be awarded the following certificates. Higher Certificate in Community Counseling. Thank you. Just wait. Siobhan Chantal Lawrence. Of course, we have the moment for the picture as well. Higher Certificate in Business Studies. Saralda Nicholas with distinction. Let's give the distinctions a hand. Yeah. For those that did not get, we love you too, but let's give the recognition. Mrs. Registrar, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed the program requirements and have fulfilled all the conditions as accepted by the Board of Directors, the Academic Office, our accrediting bodies, and the Senate, which now enables the candidates to be awarded the following postgraduate certificates. The Postgraduate Certificate in Education, Intermediate Phase Teaching. Monique Moody. Afton Antoinette Morris. Nicole Diane Padua. Joy Dusu Pam. Insaf Saleh. Darren Wade Tuloch. Mrs. Registrar, I ask you to confer the following to the following students in absentia. Johan de Beer with distinction. Emma Louise Haynes, who had been the top student in the higher certificates. Miranda Beita, Letitia Sashe Kutsia with distinction. Michelle Curtin, also with distinction. Esthea De Bruin, who had been the top student in the postgraduate certificate in education. Thank you for continuing to, applaud the distinctions. It's important. Daniel Herbst, Jacqueline Kuhn, Sibusiswe Mabaso, Elizabeth Mills, Martha Susanna Nell with distinction, and Sunay Stolz. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for guiding us, Registrar. Mr. President. Mr. President, I now request you to confer the Bachelor of Arts degree upon the following candidates who have successfully completed the program requirements and have fulfilled all the conditions of the qualification. Amanda Gail Caroline Andreas.
I confer on you the degree Bachelor of Arts.
Jolene Sharon Barnes.
Bachelor of Arts.
Ruan Jack Botma.
Bachelor of Arts.
Raisa Charles.
Bachelor of Arts.
Carlos Ernest Chileche.
Bachelor of Arts.
Jermaine Shumalderisia Christians.
Bachelor of Arts.
Karen Ray Cohen, with distinction.
Bachelor of Arts.
Nikita Felix.
Bachelor of Arts.
Judith Ganesh.
Bachelor of Arts.
Ramon Darren Govender.
Bachelor of Arts.
Sadia Muashra Hendricks.
Bachelor of Arts.
Thomas Chalmer Henson.
Bachelor of Arts.
Danielle Marina Higu.
Bachelor of Arts.
Semandi Himan.
Bachelor of Arts.
Donovan Hein Jacobs.
Bachelor of Arts.
Bramwell Lance Joseph.
Bachelor of Arts.
Nicole Joseph.
Bachelor of Arts.
Cecilie Nonopa Manzini.
Bachelor of Arts.
Emmanuel Gabriel Meyer.
Bachelor of Arts.
Jessica Munich.
Bachelor of Arts.
Bronwyn Nell.
Bachelor of Arts.
Kalipa Ntloko.
Bachelor of Arts.
Ilse Ruzan Sambaba.
Bachelor of Arts.
Kaylee Jasleen Samuels.
Bachelor of Arts.
Shantay Skoenraad.
Bachelor of Arts.
Tesmi Seymour.
Bachelor of Arts.
Melissa Smith.
Bachelor of Arts.
Athena Rosemary Tennyson.
Bachelor of Arts.
Zaan van Wyk.
Bachelor of Arts.
Mr. President, and in absentia, Gerald Carl Kleur, Jenna May Kashula, Dimitri Chikos, the top student in the program, and Jeray Williams with distinction. Please applaud the graduates. Thank you very much for that. This is a celebration. Mr. President, I now request you to confer the Bachelor of Theology in Community Leadership upon the following candidates who have successfully completed the program requirements and have fulfilled all the conditions of this qualification. Precious Fakeya Banda.
I confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Theology in Community Leadership.
Gabriella Ruth Groenewald, and the top student in the program.
Bachelor of Theology.
Joshua Dudley Hind.
Bachelor of Theology.
Mugove Kadungurwe.
Bachelor of Theology.
Jean Patrice Paluku.
Bachelor of Theology.
Kali Morgan Tandy Phillips with distinction.
Bachelor of Theology.
Kyle Ramon Ace.
Distinction.
Oh, and with distinction, I apologize. Yes, with distinction.
Bachelor of Theology.
Thank you for your patience. Damien Brian van der Walt, with distinction.
Bachelor of Theology.
Kyle Weideman.
Bachelor of Theology.
We may applaud all the graduates of this program. Mr. President, I now request you to confer a very special degree. For the first time, the Bachelor of Arts Honours in Community Development upon the following candidate who has successfully completed the program requirements and has fulfilled all the conditions of this qualification. Henry Tambala.
I confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Arts Honours in Community Development.
Mr. President, I now request you to confer the Bachelor of Arts Honours degree upon the following candidates who have successfully completed the program requirements and have fulfilled all the conditions of this qualification. The Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Oh, I apologize. But I did say thank you for your patience. Bachelor of Arts Honours in Psychology. Shantay Svia Adams.
I confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Arts Honours in Psychology, Academic.
Thank you. Loretta Brown.
Bachelor of Arts Honours.
Wesley Gareth Chips, and with distinction.
Bachelor of Arts Honours.
Roxanne Daniels.
Bachelor of Arts Honours.
Nathira Essa.
Bachelor of Arts Honours.
Taryn Lee Hendricks.
Bachelor of Arts Honours.
Yes, with distinction. Thank you. Samukeli Siwe Charity Mbambo.
Yeah. Bachelor of Arts Honours.
And allow me a brief word, President, our own Faculty Officer of Humanities, Tebukazi Mtati. Yes. With distinction. Yes, we are all very proud
Bachelor of Arts,
of everyone, of course, but yeah. Thank you. Alnay Nel.
Bachelor of Arts, Honours.
Linton Mike Leslie Paulson.
Bachelor of Arts, Honours.
Angeli Petzold, and the top student in the program.
Bachelor of Arts, Honours.
And in absentia, President Emma Elizabeth Swain. Please applaud all the graduates. Mr. President, I now request you to confer for the first time the Bachelor of Arts Honours in Psychology B-Psych equivalent upon the following candidates who have successfully completed the program requirements and have fulfilled all the conditions of this qualification. We're also excited. You're really welcome. Wazima Abrams.
I confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Arts Honours in Psychology, B-Psych equivalent.
Amy Foucher, with distinction.
Bachelor of Arts Honours.
Johannes Petrus Geers.
Bachelor of Arts Honours.
Our postgraduate speaker, Daphne Joy McGiven, with distinction. And the top student in the program.
Bachelor of Arts Honours.
Thank you. Emanuela Miller.
Bachelor of Arts Honours.
Taryn Benize Mullins.
Your hair. It's the wrong side. No, your hair. Bachelor of Arts Honours. You're not going to see your face.
Right. Liasha Jadri Noble.
Bachelor of Arts Honours.
Dominique Payne, with distinction.
Bachelor of Arts Honours.
Angela Janine Pugan, with distinction.
Bachelor of Arts Honours.
Janine Rabiosi.
Bachelor of Arts, Honours.
Chantal Coralie Ann Ritter.
Bachelor of Arts, Honours.
And Kanyiso Cyril Shange, and one of our staff members.
Bachelor of Arts, Honours.
Thank you. Lorna van Besou with distinction.
Bachelor of Arts, Honours.
Candace Joyce Waitlin.
Bachelor of Arts, Honours.
Kelly Williams.
Bachelor of Arts, Honours.
Mr. President, and in absentia, Grace Immelman.
That's it.
You may applaud the graduates. And then it's next Marcel. Right, okay. So thank you for witnessing and observing that important moment in all of our lives. At Cornerstone, at least we hope our students know, but thank you. We really value our students' work as scholars. So we consider them not only students that want to gain a qualification to work professionally and so, but also students that become scholars, that reflect on various questions of society. And therefore we have awards. And we award the students on bachelor level and students on postgraduate. And these are our academic awards. So our academic awards are presented to the graduate who has achieved the highest academic standard. That really matters for us, to us, during the course of her studies at Cornerstone. So all her studies. In order to be eligible for this award, a student must have completed the qualification in a maximum of the qualification years plus one. That, of course, allows for circumstances of people's lives. This year, awards are presented for each of the following categories: bachelor and postgraduate programs. The 2017 Academic Bachelor Award goes to Gabriella Ruth Groenewald. I now hand to our chairperson, Marcel Golding. They have so much difficulty with me, so I apologize, colleagues. It's my first one at Cornerstone, so just a little bit of patience. So our postgraduate award goes to Daphne Joy McGiven. Very much. Now I hand to Marcel. Marcel, please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to honor the Against All Odds Award. The purpose of the Against All Odds Award is to recognize a graduating student who has overcome unusual and extenuating circumstances against all odds. The student is determined to reach his or her goals in spite of these obstacles and has remained at Cornerstone, maintaining passing grades and successfully completing the requirements of their program of study. The criteria for this award are courage and determination, integrity, good standing in the Cornerstone community. The 2017 Against All Odds Award goes to Amanda, Gail, Caroline, and Reyes.
The candidate for the President's Award will be judged by the faculty, staff and students as the student that best represents the core values of Cornerstone Institute. While it is recognized that this candidate might not necessarily be the student with the highest academic standing, it must nevertheless be the case that he or she possesses all the qualities that we celebrate as an institute. To this end, the President's Award will be given to a final year student who has shown consistency of character, is actively involved in the community, is supportive of fellow students, has demonstrated academic excellence and the potential for further learning, and is spiritually, socially, and academically well-rounded. So I have an envelope today. And I'm reading this now for the first time. The 2016 President's Award goes to I'll try again. The 2017 President's Award goes to Jolene Barnes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Peter. This is my brother, John. We're just going to take this time. We just need a few minutes of your time. We just want to congratulate all the students in song. We hope you guys are going to enjoy this one. Guarda fuori già mattina, questo è un giorno che ricorderai. Alzati in fretta e vai. C'è chi crede in te, non ti arrendere. Once in every life there comes a time if you walk on alone and into the light, the moment one lasts, but then we'll remember it again when we close our eyes like stars across the sky. Se me la vincere, tu vedrai vincere. We were born to shine. All of our tears because we believe. Now I want you guys to clap your hands for me. Here we go. Guarda avanti non voltarti mai. Accarezza con i sogni tuoi e tue speranze poi verso il giorno schiederai se traguarderà la stars across the sky. Deve la vincere, vedrà vincere. We were born to shine. All of our tears because we believe. Non arrenderti. Qualcuno è con te. Nou kan ik vir julle vra om julle hande in die lug te sit vir my. Ja. Like stars across the sky. We were born to shine. Sempre la vincere, potrai vincere. E allora vincerà.
Sjoe, maar hulle het vir my benoud gemaak. Wow. I think We all know that an event like this cannot be done without very hard work, without those who are graduating, and without you as our guests. So I'd like to take this time to thank some people that have played a huge role in the success of today. And because my eyes are not as they used to be, I'm going to put my glasses on. Firstly, I would like to thank the chairman of our board, Marcel Golding, along with the board members of Cornerstone, and I see some of them sitting over there, for their direction and also for honoring our graduates today with their presence. Let's give them a hand. Then I'd like to thank the management, staff, and faculty of Cornerstone for the role they played over the past few years in ensuring that the graduates reached their goals. It was very special of us today to have Dr. Nadine Bowers. She was my lecturer at one point. You can see we're just one big happy family and we kind of stay. And I would like to ask her to come forward as we bless her with a gift for the amazing job that she did today. But I will leave it on the table. Okay, yes. And now to, Peter and John, where are they? Well, let's still just clap hands for them anyway. Don't you think they were amazing? Sure, talent. And then to our pianist, Basil Sneyer, thank you so much for blessing us and just playing beautifully as our students came in. We look forward to listening to that again as they exit as graduates. Also, to Eastern Acoustics for the sound. We couldn't have done this without you. Nobody would have heard us. And so thank you very much. And then there was a team of people that worked really hard. I'm not going to call them by name, but there's a graduation committee that starts planning this in August already. So to those people that assisted and helped, thank you. Please give them a hand. Then there's another, everybody's special in this place. So now there's another special group. This group of people, though, are those people who walked alongside our graduates and were there for them when they were deprived of sleep, when they were miserable, and when they didn't want to eat because of stress. Those people who had to see that accounts were paid and transport was covered. So I'm going to actually ask the parents if you supported a student, would you please stand so that we can give you a hand? Please stand if you're a parent or if you... So to the parents, husbands, wives, grandparents, friends, and children of the graduates, perhaps, you see now I'm like our dean. I was supposed to say that earlier before I said stand. But anyway, thank you. You too have graduated today, okay? No more accounts unless they're going to study further and all of those things. Lastly, to our graduates, our class of 2017. Thank you for attending this very special day. You are an amazing group of young and middle-aged and older people. You are the reason that we're celebrating. And I just want to say all of the best to each one of you. Let's give them a hand.
By the powers that's vested in me, I hereby dissolve this congregation as a gathering of Cornerstone Institute.